Thank you for visiting MDinteractive. Today, we're going to take a look at the 2018 MIPS requirements. MIPS, also known as the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, combines several CMS programs: Quality, formerly known as PQRS, Advancing Care Information, formerly known as EHR Meaningful Use, the Improvement Activities category, which is new in 2017, and Cost, or formerly the Value-Based Modifier Program. So let's get started. 2017 marked a transition year, or the first year for MIPS. It allowed eligible clinicians to pick their level of participation. For 2018, some of the requirements have changed. The most notable are the categories. As you can see, in 2017, Quality, Advancing Care Information, and Improvement Activities were the three reportable categories. This year, for 2018 MIPS, they've also added the Cost category and reduced the Quality category by 10%. Let's take a look at these categories in more detail. The first is the Quality category. For 2018, the Quality category will be 50% of the total MIPS score, or a possible 50 out of 100 points. It is a 12-month reporting period for the entire year. Providers will need to select 6 quality measures, including at least one outcome measure. If there isn't an outcome measure available, a high priority could be used instead. The goal for data completeness for these 6 quality measures is 60% of eligible cases. These include both Medicare and non-Medicare patients seen during the full year. If the data completeness requirements for a particular measure are not met, for larger practices with 16 or more eligible providers under the tax ID number can only earn 1 point for that measure. For smaller practices with 15 or fewer eligible providers can continue to earn at least 3 points for these measures that don't meet data completeness. It's important to note that in 2018, there are several measures, 6 to be specific, that have been topped off, meaning that the possible points available are only 7 out of 10. These measures have been noted here, and we recommend visiting MDinteractive.com for more details. Now let's take a look at the Advancing Care, or ACI category. Remember, this replaces EHR Meaningful Use. This category is 25% of your final MIPS score, or a maximum of 25 out of 100 points. There is a 90-day minimum reporting period that must be chosen for ACI. All base measures must be reported in order to earn any credit within this category. There are exclusions for e-prescribing as well as health information exchange. This year, there have been new hardship exclusions for small practices as well. Providers can report using either the 2014 or 2015 editions of their certified EHR technology. Please note that those who will be using the 2015 editions of their cert can earn 10% bonus points for doing so. Now let's take a look at the improvement activities. Remember, this category was new in 2017. The category weight remains at 15% of your final MIPS score, or 15 out of 100 points. There is a 90-day minimum reporting period for this category. It's a simple attestation process. There are over 112 activities this year to choose from. They're designated as either medium weight or high weighted activities. Small providers, solo, or groups with fewer than 15 providers, groups that are non-patient facing or in rural areas, are required to only attest to either 1 high-weighted or 2 medium-weighted improvement activities. For those practices or groups with over 15 providers, they're required to attest for 2 high-weighted activities, or a combination of 1 high-weighted and 2 medium-weighted activities, or they could simply choose to do 4 medium-weighted activities. The last category, and new this year, is the 2018 Cost category, formerly known as the Value-Based Modifier Program. The Cost category will be 10% of your final MIPS score this year, so a maximum of 10 out of your 100 points. CMS will actually calculate the cost performance using administrative claims data. Category score is an average of your Medicare spending per beneficiary and total per capita cost measures. Remember, there's no action from eligible clinicians for this cost category. It will be generated or calculated by CMS, and the earned points will be added to your total MIPS score. Now it's time to get started. There's 3 key steps before you can begin reporting 2018 MIPS. First, you just want to determine your provider or providers' eligibility. The fastest way to do that is to go to qpp.cms.gov and click on their participation lookup. Once you've determined eligibility, you'll want to decide how you plan to report, whether it be as individuals or as a group. The third step will be to select those MIPS categories that you plan to report. Let's look at these 3 steps in a little bit more detail. So who has to report for MIPS? This year, as you can see in the green box, we've listed those providers that are included. In addition to the provider type, the low volume threshold has changed for 2018. Please note that you must bill Medicare Part B more than $90,000 a year and see more than 200 Medicare patients per year in order to meet that low volume threshold and be included in the MIPS 2018 reporting. Those folks who are excluded are listed in the blue box. You'll see the provider types listed, as well as providers who are newly enrolled in Medicare, those clinicians who do not exceed the low volume threshold, or clinicians who are participating in an alternative payment model, or APMs. Again, please check with qpp.cms.gov participation lookup to confirm your eligibility for reporting. Now that you've determined reporting eligibility, it's time to decide whether you would prefer to report as an individual or as a group. Eligible clinicians can report either way, as long as your group has 2 or more eligible clinicians who bill under the same tax ID number. There are no requirements to register with CMS to report as a group. Groups will receive the collective score and be assessed or scored as a group across the tax ID for all MIPS categories. It's important to note whether you choose to report as an individual or as a group, you must remain consistent across all 3 categories. For example, if you decide to report as a group for quality, you must then continue reporting as a group or under your tax ID number for advancing care information and improvement activities as well. The third and final step before beginning MIPS reporting is to determine your reporting options. For 2018, CMS has set the minimum threshold at 15 points in order to avoid penalty. Remember, in 2017, it was only 3 points. The exceptional performance threshold for 2018 has stayed the same, so 70 points or greater can be eligible for additional bonus. Let's take a look at avoiding penalty and exceptional performance. In order to avoid the 5% penalty or meet the minimum threshold performance of 15 points in 2018, any one of these options can be performed. By submitting data for 6 quality measures, including 1 outcome or high priority, or attesting for the 4 or 5 ACI-based measures for at least 90 days and reporting 1 or 2 quality measures, or attesting for the required improvement activities based on your size for at least 90 days. Either of these options, if done correctly, can help you meet that minimum performance threshold of 15 points and avoid the negative 5% penalty for 2018. But let's say you want to reach exceptional performance. At MDinteractive, we would suggest that you submit data for all 3 reportable categories in order to earn a positive payment adjustment and or reach that exceptional performance threshold of 70 points or greater. What that would entail is submitting data for 6 quality measures, including 1 outcome or high priority measure, and attesting for at least 4 or 5 of the ACI-based measures for the minimum of 90 days, and to attest for the required number of improvement activities based on the size of your group for at least 90 days. Again, reporting all 3 categories will help you maximize your points and hopefully reach that exceptional performance threshold of 70 points or greater. So now it's time to just get started reporting MIPS, and MDinteractive is the best choice. We have 20 years of experience working with CMS and quality-based programs. All MIPS categories, as well as all of the measures, can be found within our system. We have flexible data options as well as easy-to-use software. With exceptional support and a low price, it makes sense to create your free account and just get started with MDinteractive. We're here to help you and look forward to working together for 2018 MIPS reporting. Thank you.